What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So I'm just going to let you all know that this is the intro to the video, and we have more videos to come in the very near future. I have a bunch that I've recorded. I've just been very delayed on editing. I wanted to let you guys know that this video is going to be kind of all over the place. This is going to be the video for the second half of the engine install. It's kind of weird in continuity. I did not film as much as the install and wiring process as I had liked. You know, what else is new? But aside from that, enjoy the video. Alright, so we're back at it again. So our 1320 motor mounts are in. Yeah, special, beautiful. Yeah, mounts on, everything's in. It's good to go over here. So as far as that goes, we've got all the thermostat stuff switched over because the 96 through 98 thermostat and a few things are a little different. Switched those over on the block. This is day number something, 5, I believe. So have been kind of just taking it slow, making sure everything's good, and as you can see now, the engine is in the car. Tolerances were a little tight. Had a little bit of an issue right here with this bracket touching on the manifold. Not such a big deal. It's sitting, it works. Motor mounts are all in and everything looking good there. Everything's in, the torque mounts are in, the clutch and flywheel are in. I'm sorry I didn't get any of that on film. I was just keeping it moving when I started doing that. Wiring harness here. I'm about to button all that up, and then I'm going to connect the clutch up. I've got a K&N fuel filter I'm going to drop on there. The only issue that I might run into is, in here is my AC compressor. When I was test fitting things off the jack stands, off the stand, on the stand, there was an issue we're going to run into with the downpipe hitting the AC compressor. So I might have to massage the downpipe a little for it to slide over, which isn't a big deal. Hopefully we can make that happen, and if that being the case, then I'll still have my AC, and that'll be freaking amazing. So what I'm about to do now is I'm about to test fit this downpipe because it does have a funky fitment, and I'm going to see how that fits. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Here we are again, another day, another Craigslist Civic. So we are at the 1 week point of the build, and we are basically back together. Everything is done. The wiring harness is in, the intake is back on. We have the radiator in. Just got to slap the fan on real quick. Still got to gap the plugs a little bit because yeah, I just haven't done that yet. Wastegate is mounted, and catch can. Did I just say catch can? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Catch can's in. Dash 10 line running to that black box delete for the PCV. Now what's left to do, just need to now this gives me an open port on my intake manifold, so I can run my boost solenoid and my blow-off valve and all the other goofy little things like that. I'll be able to get signal from that. That's got to be done. Next thing to tackle today is going to be mounting this intercooler. I kind of guessed when I put the turbo in which way it was going to have to sit. and I'm going to have to clock it just a little bit, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. I can pretty much get to all those bolts on the back side, hopefully. There's one that I'm a little leery about, but we'll finagle it and see what happens. Alright, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back, and here's a quick update. We did get in a little bit of mocking up the intercooler. Gonna have to make a few cuts in the plastic. I'm just figuring out how I'm gonna mount this real quick. The kit came with some mounting hardware. It's not that great, but other than that, she's got your typical Honda mounting. Yep, and then I've got my Mishimoto. Of course, the kit came with a coupler. We're going to see if that fits. I wouldn't mind using my Mishimoto since I paid $8 for it. But I had a little bit of a fun time trying to mount this up, and I finally got it in. It does sit off to one side more so than the other, which is not a big deal. That being said, we are going to have to modify the bumper. We're going to have to cut all this stuff out of here so that intercooler can sit in there. It's not a huge deal. Next, I am going to... what am I going to start doing next? I got to start working on wiring in the wideband. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back at it again in another day, another dollar. So what do we got going on here? We have our welder and got Crazy AF starting to lay them dimes on that downpipe so we can get that sucker ready. And really, that is the major mountain to hurdle today. So with that being said, new drive shaft is in. Everything's set up there. We had this. I ordered a cheap Chinese test pipe forever and a day ago, and it did not fit properly. So I never used it. I just punched out my cat, and we went to throw it on here, and it just doesn't fit right all around the board. So I even went out of my way to make sure I did not buy the cheapest one, but it ended up being the cheapest one as far as fitment goes. So we flipped it around and made it sit where we wanted it to, and now we got customized Honda downpipe. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today on the Craigslist Civic, we are going to be really wrapping up pretty much everything we need to do to start this car, get it running, and start to test and tune. We have intercooler piping ran. We have everything wired. We are just finishing up the downpipe. I have the Honda Boost solenoid. Let's see right here. I have it mounted. I mounted it right here off of the throttle linkage bracket that runs into the engine bay. We are going to tee off a couple vacuums so we can run our solenoid, and I'll be going over how to do that. It's quite very simple. Have to vacuum tie in our blow-off valve, and then I will be going over how I wired in the wideband, and I will show you how I did that. It's very simple. You just tie into A25 for power and A26 for the ground, and then from there you run your signal off of D10, and then I ran the wires under here, and then I went to Harbor Freight today and I got myself a grommet kit so I can go ahead and if you can see back there, there is a hole from where the cruise control used to be. So because I am no longer going to be running cruise control because I have a Momo wheel that is not going to be compatible with cruise control. So the major holdup that I'm having with everything right now is that we had to completely modify the downpipe that this kit had come with. Now I'm sure it's not the prettiest looking right now because it is in the rough draft, well, I should say the final draft stage. We had to cut it and we had to do all kinds of craziness. And I say we, I mean Crazy AF did most of it. As a matter of fact, he did all of it. It doesn't look so pretty now, but the bends are pretty smooth. And he's just gonna finish welding it. And then, as soon as that's in the car, we can go ahead and we can fire this baby up and make sure everything is copacetic as far as leaks and everything, and get a good heat cycle on these rings and everything else. So let's jump into it. Oh, and I have to put the suspension, the shifter linkage in, and I'm gonna mount the, I am going to mount this intercooler up.
Lights, camera, action, my guy, let's go.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so what we're doing right now, we're gonna mount this intercooler up. So what I did was, I took the intercooler itself, okay, and to mark on the bumper, so I had it where I had it sitting on the bumper itself. And then, what I did was just went around with a T-square, and I found where the center of the hole is going to be, because I'm going to feed the bolts down through these holes right here. And then, when this was sitting, mounted in here like this, what I did is I took some grease and some zip ties, and as you saw before, you saw it hanging, and I took some just regular multi-purpose vehicle grease, and I put it on the top here where they're going to bolt into this bumper. So what happened was, I wiped the entire top of this, I had it caked up, and then I went and just pressed it into the bottom of the bumper, and it left a mark. So I took my punch, I punched the middle of the mark, and now I am going to, if you want to get it shown where I started, where I took the punch.
Yeah. No one cares. Guys, Zach is grinding inside the house. He is not allowed to. He is not allowed to do that, guys. Make sure to call police and stuff. Call police. Big fat meanie here.
Policia! Final piece of the puzzle is here, and we have finally manipulated this cheap Chinese downpipe into what you see here. It is fully customized, 100% from flange to flange. The guru himself, who did that right there. So what would you say, man? Scale of 1 to 10. What do you think about the initial quality of this thing?
2.5.
I thought you were going to say like -3. This thing had to be...
It showed up, so it gets a 2.5.
Yeah, I'll give it that. Alright, so the next shot you'll be seeing will be the moment of truth, and that will be first startup. Battery.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
Whoa, Sparky!
Hold on to your butts.
Nuts to butts.
Ow.
That's good. You got oil pressure?
Can't tell.
The gauge or the light? What was the light doing?
Nothing?
It wasn't on?
No.
Oh.
My oil light's on now.
Bloop bloop. You got a bloop bloop.
Try it one more time. Keep going. Why doesn't it start? It wants to start.
I don't like where his map is. Yeah. Something ain't right with his map.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after much fighting, I figured it out. I guess I have a bad Honda 4-port. I'm going to have to get on that and see if I can get my money back or return or something. But she is living. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we were having a little bit of a malfunction, I guess you could say, with the wastegate. It seems that we may have figured it out, so I'm going to heat cycle it one more time. Sound like a boat anymore, and I got the wastegate situation figured out. I have everything together. The car is together. The car runs. There is just no tune going on right now. I am going to try to wing a little bit of the fuel map so I can run gate pressure. I have the boost solenoid hooked up. I don't have it connected just about yet, but it is hooked up and it is working. It's soldered in my Deechworks 1000s. Deechworks are slipping. The reason I went Deechworks is because they were supposed to be plug and play, but no big deal. I just soldered them in. One tip you want to remember if you are soldering in injectors, there is a plus and a negative side. There's a positive and negative side to these injectors. What you want to remember though, it doesn't matter what you run if you run a positive and negative on either way. I mean, like, you can run the positive to the negative, negative to positive, but you have to go the same way off of every injector. So just for easy reference with the Honda, it goes brown, red, blue, yellow, but there's a yellow with a black stripe. That's the positive, and the colored wire is the negative. So that's just the easy way to keep track of that. Wastegate. I have a different wastegate coming. It was supposed to be here today. Apparently Amazon Prime had a delay. Just go figure. And also today was supposed to be coming, I just have a little mini fan in here right now. I have a shroud and everything coming. It should be here today sometime. Just the bumper has been modified. Intercooler has been mounted. I do need to tighten some lines. I need to make a different return line for the turbo feed. Other than that, let's see what else we got going on here. Wideband gauge is in and it works. The data log works. I need to put my interior back together. I ran all the wiring for it. So with the next time you see me, we will be firing her up.